Okay. Thank you, President, for giving us this great opportunity to have a breakfast meeting with you. We are the Association of New Companies in Japan, and the name of the organization is called Japan Association of New Economy. We are the organization of entrepreneurs. Most of the members are somehow related to IT and internet, and we have about 639 companies, and we are very active, and we are pretty much pro-reform, and trying to maximize the utilization of information technology. One of the most aggressive organization to utilize IT. We are pretty much interested to learn the most advanced utilization of internet, not only for the politics, but for education, medical treatment, and in other business applications. So thank you very much, and we are very, very intrigued to learn probably the best case study of the utilization of the IT and the internet. Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Anyway, I'd like to thank you for inviting me here, and it is a pleasure to be in Japan. And the issue of identity, I would say, is the key. And we have we have started off from that understanding now since I'd say 2000, the year 2000. And here, this is one place where we see the role of the government is to guarantee your ID, that you are you. And from there on, we guarantee who you are if you want to be guaranteed for both the government where it's required, but in the private sector where you don't have to use it, but for the private sector seeing the benefits of this will use the government provided service. So while we are not, basically, this is a case where I believe it is the obligation of the government to step in where there is market failure. And where there is market failure, in this case, is in identification. So what we have done, just to give a little background for those who don't know, our e-governance system has worked since about 2000. And we have put, and will continue to put more and more services online, which are always based on a secure identity. Almost all of our banking is done online. We have we've had 5 elections with an online identity. 25% of the electorate voted online in the past 3 elections. There is no system, which gets to the second thing that we have done, which the government offers a data exchange platform, which to get technical for those who know, it's an enterprise service bus. It's not a big brainwave, but it means that all of these, whoever is using the secure identity and is in the system can exchange using the government-supported system, can do their business. And it's what allows e-governance to take off, because through this system, the various ministries can talk to another, the companies can talk to the ministries. The way to think of it is it's a backbone, just like a big highway system. It is a backbone. The fundamental road is there, but the backbone has lots of ribs, hundreds and hundreds of ribs. And so the banks are on there, the pharmacies are on there, the police are on there, and then and they can access the information from different places if they're legally allowed to do so. You can ask later about the privacy issue, because we have thought about that for a long time. But what that does is that you can communicate and save a lot of time, save a lot of human effort. Italy and Estonia have the same laws because of the EU on what you need to register a company. In Italy, it takes 18 months to register a company. In Estonia, it takes 18 minutes. Because when you go there, when you register the company, you put in the IDs of all of the people that are on the board. Now normally, or if you do it in a paper world, you have to show that none of the people on the board owe back taxes. None of them are bankrupt. They're all paying their alimony for their divorced wives. All of these things you have to show to get to the point that you can register the company. Now in Italy, you go from one ministry to another ministry, and then to another ministry, and they look through the paper files, and then if you're lucky, they stamp the thing, yes, with a real stamp. Now, since all of that information exists in the various databases, the tax department, the whatever, divorce ministry, whatever, it is with the IDs, of all of the people on there, all of that information can be checked, and if everything is right, you get your company registered.
I had a range of meetings of cybersecurity, e-business, and telecommunication issues. Each provided me with a fresh, helpful perspective that I will continue to consider as I attempt to help elevate the Japanese cybersecurity readiness and resilience. And my central interests are information technology and cybersecurity. Both national points of cooperation between our countries, it is difficult to believe, but next month will mark the 7th anniversary of the infamous cyber attack on Estonia. And since then, we have all been truly impressed with Estonia's response. It has not tried to keep a low profile, it has not become less networked, and it has not shied from emerging cybersecurity challenge.
When the President actually gives these presents to you, I really would like to ask you to open these boxes and look inside. Mr. Kitani. And for Mr. Hira.
Thank you. In fact, we asked you to open it.
It's real.
Yeah.
Can I vote you?
It's limited.
How do you handle the concern of the citizens with regard to the censoring of the communications or the data exchange?
Well, until last year, when we were beaten by a very small amount by Iceland, Estonia was #1 in the world in internet freedom. So I guess we just haven't thought about it. So we are free. We have not been concerned about that, and the citizens are not concerned about it. And the legal infrastructure in Estonia makes it very free. So it's not simply practice, but it's also the legal guarantees. So how do we deal with it? I don't know. We don't deal with it because we don't have any restrictions. We also have there's one other measure, which is the Google takedown rate, which is that Google is asked to take some page down from the search, and we have the least in the world.
About the state being overly powerful about the control of information of all citizens. So we very much benefit from inside out.
Right. Okay. So it's not the government must guarantee the sort of the legal obligations of everyone. In fact, the actual authentication is done by a non-governmental, by a private company, which is owned by a consortium of banks. It is in the interest of the consortium of banks to have a secure ID.
A card is mandatory.
Yeah, card is mandatory.
But you don't have to use it.
You don't have to use it. Oh, okay.
We need to change legislation to actually allow for the storage of data outside one's borders.
Trying to advocate is how much we can save by introducing this e-economy concept.